main line,
can.
put some beans in this, Bush's baked beans in a syringe, and you're good to go.
Hey,
there you go.
Story of my life.
Welcome once again to Chill Filter, the podcast where we drink whiskey so you don't have to, but you probably should. Yeah, probably are, and that's why we like you. Thanks for showing up. My guess is one or two of you are showing up because you just heard us on Matt Madness. Either we completely embarrassed ourselves or one of us went on to victory. Either way, we're glad to have you. Hope you like what we provide as a show. You know what? If you want to get deeper into what we provide as a show, hit us up on Patreon, patreon.com/chillfiltered. And if you hit us up at the $10 tier, you will be able to join likely in the next Matt Madness pre-funk party if one of us survived, where we do drink alongs with our listeners. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't be because this will be our second in the rotation, right? Or is it going to be our first?
This is our second.
Okay. If we go very deep and Matt Madness goes very long, that was his nickname in high school. You guys might be able to join us because at a $10 tier, you get to join us on our drink alongs where we have a drink once a month and
with you
and talk about things, stuff, mostly the whiskey. Other than that, just hit us up on Instagram. We'd love to hear you say, hey, thanks for putting out whatever you're doing. And we like hanging out with you too. Because you know what? We love hanging out with you guys. And I think that's been very evident this last week. Our last episode, we did a live recording on St. Patrick's Day. And I got to be honest, Cole, I was surprised people actually showed up. Like it was pretty awesome. Like on a Friday on St. Patrick's Day at like 6 o'clock Eastern. Earlier.
5:30 Eastern.
5:30, something like that. 5:30 Eastern, 3:30 Mountain. People showed up and hang out with us, and I think that's my favorite thing of this show is reach out and touch me. Let me know what you're thinking. Mostly Cole, because he does most of the talking. But that's enough for the business. Here's the podcast. Cole, my dear friend, how you doing, buddy?
A little nervous, pre Matt Madness. We're recording on a Thursday, and Friday evening is our. So I'm excited because we're not a double header tomorrow. It's just us from what I've seen. So it's not going to be like overwhelming. Maybe everyone can show up and watch me and Robby do our best. But yeah, I think I might have mentioned this last week, but it just hit me one day that I was like,
you mentioned.
What if we lose? Like, I don't know. It was just it was like, what if I do terribly? And like, what if Robby also does terribly? And so I don't know. I'm excited, but I'm also like super nervous. And I think, we've talked about this before. If this is your first episode watching or listening to Chill Filtered and you were inspired to check us out from Matt Madness.
Inspired. We use that term loosely.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I have a feeling we're going to nervous talk a lot. Or at least I am, and feel like just talk because I feel nervous. And I know we both do that. And it's not a bad thing. Like, I actually think you were like perfectly tame in terms of, but I could tell you were also nervous talking, but it wasn't too much. So I don't know. But the fun thing is we'll like hopefully bounce off of each other. And
we've got our shtick.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't have to fake it anymore. You've been on this show.
Don't fake the funk and nasty dunk.
Yeah, this is your 100 and
the
77th episode.
Stuff.
Yeah. And I know you started on 81, so that was your first episode. So just subtract 80. So yeah, 167. I don't know, whatever.
I don't know.
But
you're the math
you've been here long enough. I've been here long enough to where we're just ourselves.
Yeah,
at least on the podcast.
So that's the thing I'm excited for. I think I was more nervous for the first time we were in the prelims than I am for this one, because I'm like, at this point, like, we've got a 33.333333 chance of one of us winning.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Well, yeah, that is correct, actually, math or probability theory wise. Because we have a chance, only a third chance, assuming we're all the same, there's a third chance that Will lose. And that is the math behind it.
So the podcast has a better chance of losing to a Chill Filtered than a Chill Filtered has to losing to a podcast.
I imagine. Yeah.
All right, we'll see. Well, at any rate, I don't care at this point. I'm just going to get on there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have fun. You can be the straight man. I'll be the drunk man, and we're just gonna do this. Chelsea's taking the girls to her mom's house, and I'll have the house empty. I can focus. We're doing our drink along beforehand. We're gonna. I'm just like
get a little loose.
So it's been spring break. I asked you how you're doing, but I'm going into me. It's been spring break, and I've been home all week with the girls, which I absolutely love. But I'm also equally excited just to have a few hours where I'm just going to worry about me, right? Like like I say that as we're recording and I'm drinking whiskey, I have a kid at the door, and like she was like, "Hi," and it was sweet. I didn't have to run out of the room, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Do I got to take care of this?" Also, while I'm recording right now, I might have to just be like, cool, and I go. Like, there's plenty of episodes where I mute the mic, and I just
shut up, kids. No, I'm kidding.
And I got to run out and take care of something real quick, and then I come back, and Cole he's good about talking. So I'm excited. I am excited for this Matt Madness, even though it's already happened by the time this comes out. But it'll be fun. We're gonna have fun.
The only sad thing is that we both can't make it through.
Yeah,
unless we tie, and then we like beg Matt, like, let us be a team effort, and we'll take the average of our score in the next round.
Yes, you'll drink the whiskey, I'll piss the whiskey. It's a perfect matchup.
That's how it works. I'm excited. And so, are you gonna entry buzz before the entry buzz? Like, are you gonna entry buzz before the drink along?
I'm gonna start at the drink along.
I figured too. Like, I don't want to overdo it because that's like almost 2 ounces before the. So I'll probably like do a few sips here and there because I want to get. Here's my thing. I want to be able to tell the difference between Wild Turkey juice, Old Forester juice, and that's my thing. Is like I can't always tell the difference right away between Wild Turkey juice and like Old Forester juice, even though they're like very different. Sometimes I get blackberry notes on both. Especially for the more aged stuff.
Oh, now I'm getting nervous because you know what you're talking about. I'm just winging it, man.
No, but you did great winging it. So that's the thing is like, we're going to wing it. I mean, like, and I gave you advice last time, and I'm not even afraid to say it. It was just go with your gut. Yeah. And we both did really well with that. So I'm hoping that going with our gut tomorrow will mean that by this time this episode comes out, our gut will be proven.
Yeah, that's Imodium AD's tagline.
Yeah.
Just go with your gut.
Pepto-Bismol.
Well, besides Matt Madness, though, how you doing?
I'm good.
Okay. All right.
I got to think about that. I've actually had a good few calls this week, like with friends.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I had one of my best friends from college call yesterday. I got a call with a good friend tomorrow, right when I get off work. And what else? There was like another call I had that I was like, oh, this is great. So I've just been. Normally I'm afraid of the phone, and I don't love like, especially with it. Yeah, with people that I haven't talked to in a while.
Okay.
No, but that's the thing is like sometimes I think, all right, what am I going to have to talk about with this person? And I get worried that like, because sometimes you expect a phone call to be 45 minutes or whatever. And you're like, well, how am I going to fill that time?
Oh, geez, you're a better man than me. Cause I'm like, if a phone call goes over 5, I'm freaking out and going, well, I don't want to keep you too long. See you later.
Yeah. But that's the thing is like, they're planned ahead. Some of them, or at least one of them was. And it's like, okay, let's make the best of this time. But then, like, sometimes, and that's the thing is, like, I almost tell myself it should be at least 30 minutes long, a conversation with this person, which isn't a good thing. Sometimes 15 minutes is all you need, or even 5 minutes. But I've had some good conversations and it hasn't freaked me out. But, I'm a busy guy in general. I've been getting a lot of jewelry orders and stuff, which is good. I still haven't figured out what to blow it on. I'm keeping an eye on the Solo stove.
I tell you, it's the way.
Probably get a nice one now that I've gotten even more sales.
Go to Costco; they've got good deals on them.
Yeah, I got. And honestly, I'm a member.
Honestly, it's pretty nice. There's very little smoke, high heat, and it kind of pushes all the heat straight up. So when you're roasting marshmallows, super easy peasy, bro. Yeah,
that's good to know. And once we get sponsored by them,
and you can put like this they have like a stand, which is fairly inexpensive. You can put it on your
Nice.
concrete. You can put it on your deck. Won't burn your deck or your concrete.
Oh, nice. That's good
it's
because
the
I
way
do
to
have a
go.
deck. So, how do they
The
handle
other
Bush's
nice
baked beans?
Oh
Because
man,
don't they also do like you can like cook on them? Am I crazy?
they have a thing you can cook on them. I don't know if
Okay.
I would use it just because then you're putting grease.
Throw a can
down.
in the fire and then pull it out and then drink it.
Heck, don't even ruin your beans. Just mainline
can.
Put some beans in this Bush's baked beans in a syringe, and you're good to go.
Hey,
there you go.
Story of my life.
Nice thing about solo stoves too, like Halloween when kids are trick or treating, you move that sucker out to your front yard, set up a fire pit in the front when the kids get old, and you can just hand out candy by the fire.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Although
I live in a very old people neighborhood, and I think it'll soon be turning.
Yes, they'll be dead by the
exactly.
By the time you're able to sit in the driveway, and Beck and Roberta Jr. are she got the junior for me because you love me so much.
No, sure.
They'll be young kids and they'll come by the driveway.
Have I ever called you Bob?
No, my dad's Bob.
That's right. And he's no longer with us.
I'm Robby. He's Bob.
So if you were to have a son, would you name him Robert?
No, because Chelsea hates that name.
Oh, cool. She's like, I like you, hate everything that comes with you.
No. One time we were talking, we had the twins were just talking about names, and I was like,
yeah.
What about Robert? Or Robert Bob or something like that after my dad.
Yeah.
And she's like, I hate that. And she meant like she hates when people name their kids
after
themselves. But the way she said, I was like, that's my name.
And I've had it all my life. Oh, it's great. But Robert comes with a lot of options. You can go Roberto, go Bobby, Bob, Rob, Robby.
I went to a leadership camp in high school.
Oh yeah,
and I took the R off and went by Obert.
Like Aubert.
Like and my middle name is James, so for a while I was Jim from James and Bob from Robert.
At the camp or like later in life?
No, that was middle school. Like if someone calls me Jim Bob, I met him in middle school.
You are Jim Bob.
Actually,
I knew a guy.
Technically, I'm Bob Jim, but
call
me Jim Bob.
I knew a guy whose name was Bob Rob. Shout out to Bob Rob. Yeah.
Really?
That's what he went by.
What was his name?
He was a cool guy. He lived in it's funny, when I met him in Colorado Springs at some random thing. Yeah. And he was like, I lived in New Orleans for a while.
New Orleans.
And he's like, home of the best custard in the world. And I'm like, are you talking about
Wyoming's home of the worst custard in the world? He dead.
Well, no, but the funny thing is like I've spent some time in New Orleans, and I was like, are you talking about Willie D's Cadillac custard? And it was like this
what kind of custard
spot? What Willie D's Cadillac custard.
Got him.
I guess you got me there. Yeah, got him. Ha! No, that's great. I'll take that. But anyway, we like connected on that because it's not a really well-known New Orleans.
These nuts.
I got one saved up for you, and I'm waiting till the right moment.
Oh my gosh! If this is going to be the build-up to that's the song of my people.
No, it's actually there is no like it'll be me initiating it and me finishing it, as opposed to like hoping that something you say fits. Oh, well, that's the song of my people, and then finishing it. It's like, no, I don't have to wait for something. I can initiate it from the start, if that makes any sense.
All right.
But anyway, we connected, me and Bob Rob, over Willie D's Cadillac custard, which isn't a business anymore, apparently.
Okay. That may be my favorite story you've ever told.
Well, yeah, you got quite the benefit from it, and I didn't.
I did.
So.
Hey, you're looking trim too. Got the haircut.
Yeah, I cut my hair and trimmed the sides of my beard. Kept the bottom a little long.
You got some length there. You're like, look at you.
Is
Mr.
it too long? Be honest with me, Robby.
No, man, you're looking strong, brother.
I'm like a Spartan beard.
I'm going tomorrow to get my hair cut by an actual professional with my beard done.
Ooh, how often do you do that?
I cut my hair pretty much once a week by myself.
Okay.
And then I think about every 2 to 3 months, I'll go to get like an actual like professional person to
Wait,
figure out the
tomorrow
top.
you said before Matt Madness?
Before Matt Madness. So I may look long and strong like you, brother, or it could be back. I'm going to a new place. I don't know.
Who knows? We'll find out. Maybe they'll just trim you down to nothing, and you'll be sad, Rob.
Those are my eyebrows. What are you doing? It's a haircut from a professional. Shut up. Oh man! One time
how are you doing?
I'm good.
Go ahead.
One time I don't know if you're at this age yet, but like I get long hairs in my ears. Do you get long hairs in your ears?
Not yet. But
okay, you're
dad
close.
had that stage. Yeah, exactly.
And then also like you'll just get these like long
right here,
like, random breaths. So
I get some of these, right around here.
Okay, so like I'll like use like my trimmer just make sure like they're not too long, right?
Yeah.
And one time I did it and I forgot to change the setting, and my right eyebrow was like gone. But luckily, my staff members and a couple staff members and I went and did like a photo shoot, like a awkward family photo shoot today. So I wore my thick rimmed glasses, and luckily at the time where I shaved up my eyebrow, I wore these, and you can't really see my eyebrows behind it. But we went out to dinner with Chuck Westerberg, who's a Patreon member.
And he's beautiful, and so is his family.
And his wife. Oh, they're gorgeous. The family's beautiful.
That's all good.
It's all the Patreon that got it for him. But anyway, his wife looks at me and goes, "What's wrong with your eyebrow?" And I was like, "Oh!" And I was like, it was gone. And then I had a kid. One kid in the hallway noticed it too, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, no, it happens."
It'd be hard. It's a hard game. I imagine middle school is a balance of like, I need you to respect me, but I also just need to run a class.
Oh man,
is that a thing in middle school? Or am I crazy?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
my gig's a little different because I'm in, I have a special ed class, and I have most of the same kids from like 6th grade to 8th grade, and they come. So like my first half of the year in 6th grade with my kids is like, oh, you see how my 8th graders and 7th graders work, and then they slowly fall in line. So I have a very easy, like my classroom management is phenomenal. Nice. Don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm tooting my own horn. General ed stuff is hard though. So I had a kid, like, here's the thing, like parents, teach your kids this. Teach your kids to, when they make a mistake, go, "You're right. I made a mistake. I'm sorry." Because I'll see kids in the hallway and I'll be like, "Hey, bud, knock it off." And if I get attitude, I'm like, whoa. No. You need to address this. And if I get more attitude, it's like, come here. Right?
Yeah.
But if a kid's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake," because at that age they're stupid. Like, they don't have a frontal lobe. Not to say they're stupid, but they don't have a frontal lobe. They don't make good decisions. But
not until they're 25.
If a kid, I was in my like late 30s before I made a decent decision, and I'm waiting for my next one. But anyway, that's my thing. It's like it's hard.
Prefrontal.
So anyway, I had a kid the other week in the hallway. I was like, he like pushed a girl playfully, but it was like a little bit more than playfully. And I was like, no, buddy, knock that off. And he's like, "What? She's my friend." I'm like, "No, you don't put your hands on a girl." She pushed. No, you don't put your hands on a girl.
Rule number
right?
one.
And he's walking away and like he's like turns back and yells something at me. And I don't have the best hearing, but I was like, "Hey, what'd you say? Come here." And he's like, "Nothing, never mind. See you later." And he runs away. And I had to like pull in my room. I'm like, "No, I am serious about this. Like you can talk crap about me behind my back.
Yeah.
But when we're in the hallway and you make a big deal about disrespecting me, I got to make it look like I'm talking bad to you. Like it's a big deal now. And your classmates are wondering, Mr. Deadlow pulled you aside. And I was like, "Can we just fix that next time? Next time you can talk crap behind my back, but just respect me to my face." And he's like, "Okay." I'm like, "Perfect."
Sucker.
That's what I don't know.
You got the talking to.
Yeah, and you got to do that with kids sometimes. They just got to know, like, "Hey, listen, I may be ugly, but I'm not dumb. Don't treat me like I'm dumb. Don't disrespect. Don't fake the funk on my nasty dunk." And then
you're not ugly. And then you dunk on him and he starts crying.
Now, that's my thing. I always tell kids, I'm like, I may be ugly, but I'm not dumb. And they kind of look at you like, and actually, this is the first time this same kid, I said that to him and he goes, I didn't say you were ugly. I'm like, I know, but I am. Anyway, I'm not dumb.
So, yeah, that's great.
No, but it's been a good,
yeah. Go ahead. Go.
You're working with big groups of kids is tricky. You just got to get them to
believe it.
I don't know.
You would be a great teacher, man. I wish. So I was in special ed because of my depression and like that kind of issue. And I had ADHD, but that wasn't really much of an issue in middle school because I was medicated. But they like put me in like these classes and I was getting straight A's. But I was frustrated that I was in these classes because I felt like this makes me stupid. Because I'm in these special ed classes. But I feel like if I had you as a teacher, I would have been like, all right, he's cool.
Well, I think oh, dude, it's tricky. People that get into special education, like teacher-wise, it's a tricky bunch.
I believe
it's getting better. But like we've got a good school. And I think it's one of the things, like a lot of it is just recognizing kids where you go, okay, this kid's clicking on this level. How do we get them to where we can get them out? Because that's the goal. You just want to say like, okay, where's this kid at? Let's push him. Like, and you got to like, and unfortunately, like, I think a big part of it is you have to meet kids where they can accept and understand, right? Yeah. Where it's like, you catch them off guard for a second and be like, listen, dude, like, no, like, blah, you say something stupid, like catches them off guard and you go, but let's be honest for a second. Just be honest with me because they're so like, especially in middle school, they're so caught up in this myopic look at themselves where they're like, I just want to be cool to my friends and I'll do anything to be cool to my friends and I'll do the stupidest
especially
stuff.
Middle
like,
school.
Yeah. Anyway, this is taking a weird turn.
It has, but it's okay. Maybe we should go for a walk break.
Maybe we should. You know what? The last time we did Matt Madness, we had depressive episodes.
That's right.
Right before. And now it's like right before we're just talking about.
We lost all of our new viewers. They were like, I don't want to keep listening. No, I'm kidding.
All right.
That's great.
Shall we take a walk?
Oh, you know what? One more thing.
What?
I'm really excited. If this is the case, to hear transition music songs about me and you.
I was gonna say that too.
So excited.
I think mine's gonna go like, Robby's such a cool guy, he's so neat. Cole is a sucker, put it on repeat. Robby's such a nice guy. No, I don't know.
I just hope there's a D's nuts joke in it or something like that. I probably wouldn't be able to focus in that because normally I could be like, all right, forget it. Just focus, and then listen to it. But if it's a D's nuts joke, good luck.
Got him.
Yeah. So anyway, let's go for a walk break. We'll talk about what we're drinking today. The Angels Envy Cellar Collection.
Haven't even mentioned it.
Tawny Port Finish.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's okay. We don't always talk about it. But we'll be back from our walk break, which we won't walk. And then after that, we will. Well, no, I think I will walk because I got to grab the lasagna from the oven. So when we get back, we'll talk about what we're drinking and we'll drink it. So here we go to break. And we're back. Really quick notes I wanted to get to. Great talks this week with the Smoked Oak.
I didn't see that.
No, yeah, he hit us up.
I need to go back and look.
Brian Rapp, Ben Klepse. We appreciate it. We love talking. We love shooting it up. So what a baller that each one of them are. And we had a little more, but nothing too deep otherwise. And I think that's about all I got. Hopefully, we had a good drink along as well on Friday.
Oh, it was great. I had a good time.
I'm banking that the Alexander Murray and Company, Glenn Grant was fantastic, but I'll know by the time this episode comes out if it was. 23 years. Are you kidding me? That's what you can take part in. Not, if you're not a Patreon supporter, you won't get that. But like that's the kind of stuff. This is a $200 bottle.
Cole goes all out and sending samples.
We're taking care of our listeners.
And our manly man career takes care of us.
Yeah, and he's got some glutes, man. Anyway,
Oh,
we're drinking Angel's Envy Cellar Collection #2, Tawny Port Finish, 2020, 111.6 proof. It's crazy that this is actually our first Angel's Envy product on the podcast. So we'll have to do some fresh background history. This one is pretty special though. It's not your average Angel's Envy. So let's talk about the distillery and the background. So it all starts with a guy named Lincoln Henderson. He was born in 1938. Eventually got his degree from University of Oklahoma in chemistry, but then got his MBA from Webster University in Missouri. After that he started working at Brown-Forman, the company behind Jack Daniels, Old Forester, Woodford Reserve, and that was in 1964. At that time, sorry, I lost my place. Totally. Yeah, at that time, Brown-Forman did own Old Forester, and Old Forester basically preceded the company of Brown-Forman, as the person who started Old Forester, George Garvin Brown, started Brown-Forman afterwards. But at that time that Lincoln Henderson joined the company in 1964, they had only recently, within the last 10 years at that point, picked up Jack Daniels in their portfolio. So let's just say this: Woodford Reserve wasn't even the glint in Lincoln Henderson's eyes at that point, or eye. So Lincoln
did
moved
he
up
only
pretty
have one
quick in
eye?
Brown-Forman. What's that?
He only had one eye?
Oh, he had two eyes that made bourbon.
Oh, I thought you said in his eyes or eye.
What I feel like the saying is like the glint in his eye, or the sparkle in his eye, as opposed to the sparkle in both eyes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think, but I might be
Yar,
wrong.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So he moved up pretty quick in the company. He became the man who pushed Jack Daniels to expand their line from just their old number 7. He was behind Gentleman Jack, the double charcoal mellowed Jack Daniels product. And he didn't stop there. He also spearheaded the Jack Daniels single barrel offerings, which was a pretty big deal. Then in 1996, he also was majorly involved with the creation of the Woodford Reserve brand, which was a big deal for bourbon. And here's why. We've talked about this before, but in the late 80s and early 90s, they were not a friendly few years to bourbon. Remember Blanton's getting bought out by Age International from Japan in like early 90s?
That doesn't even sound like a Japanese name. I'm outraged.
No, that's where they get you. But bourbon was struggling in that time. But in 1996, we get this new brand, a brand marketed as a luxury whiskey offering. And I believe that it had a decent impact on the bourbon's recovery in the spirit world. You might not call Woodford Reserve luxury now, but it was then. And when he retired, Lincoln Henderson, from being master distiller in 2004, after about 40 years at Brown-Forman, he retired. But he wasn't done yet. He popped out of retirement in 2006 to start his own brand with his son Wes Henderson. It's like Wes Anderson. But anyway,
Wes Craven.
And
I'm craving some more whiskey knowledge, Cole. Please continue.
He had a dream to do so, to work with his family and work with Wes. And he also had a dream that involved a bourbon that was finished in a port barrel. Now, at that time, this wasn't like a brand new idea to finish your bourbon in port, but no one was really offering that as a standard. So Angel's Envy was born, named in reference to the angel share, the evaporation loss we get from aging bourbon or whiskey. But Lincoln said his product would make the angels envious of the actual product itself, as opposed to the angel's share. So Lincoln Henderson was truly a legend in distilling. He was one of the inaugural members of the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame, and he sadly passed away in September 2013 at the age of 75. But since then, in 2019, Angel's Envy released their first Cellar Collection bottle. It was a 4 to 9 year blend of bourbon that was finished in Oloroso sherry butts. Drives me
Hubbard.
nuts.
Oh, I'm nuts.
And that was bottled at
I
100
think it
proof.
should be sherry butts, Hubbard and nuts.
Hubbard and nuts. That's pretty good. It's like D's nuts, but like sherry butts version.
Yeah.
And there were only 3,600
amalgamation.
bottles of that available. And since then, in 2020, batch 2 came out, and that's what we're drinking today, batch 2. Angel's Envy Cellar Collection, Tawny Port Finished at 111.6 proof. It's apparently a 10-year overall, so nothing less than 10 years. And so a little older than the prior release. It is a Tawny Port cask finished bourbon. So 10 years in new charred oak and then 10 months in Tawny Port barrels. So I looked this up. What makes Tawny Port different than other port?
Perfect.
And I found a few answers. But it looks like, what's that?
This is my question. What's
Yeah,
a Tawny? Tawny
it
Port.
looks like, in general, Tawny Port is the nicer port, the classier port, as opposed to Ruby Port. As it ages typically longer and potentially in smaller barrels than at least port pipes. And not really small, not like super small barrels, but less than your average port pipe, which is a barrel or a cask that is pretty close in size to a butt, often used to age sherry. Anyway, not verified, but I get the idea that your standard Angel's Envy is finished in Ruby Port barrel or Ruby Port pipes. Usually those are like 126 gallons.
Jeez.
And like I said, I wasn't able to verify this,
That's
but
like
I get the idea.
126 gallons worth of milk.
Yeah.
That's equivalent.
Yeah. Think of all the milk you could put in that barrel. But that being said, this bourbon was aged in Tawny Port barrels, which are closer to probably 53 gallons as what we're used to seeing with bourbon. Higher proof, but I don't know if it's barrel proof. Actually, I don't think it's barrel proof because there's nothing on the label that I saw that was mentioning barrel proof. But it is 111.6, so it might be barrel proof. It's just a random proof. This one specifically is batch CC20, bottle 353 of about 40 or 5,400 barrels or bottles. So there were only 5,400 bottles for the whole release for this year.
Wow, nailed it.
So more recent releases from Angel's Envy have been in 2021, there was a Madeira finished bourbon. And then in 2022, there was an ice cider finished rye. Yes, that sounds pretty good.
If anybody has that, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We're down. Shout out to Brandon Hunt from Bourbon Charity, who was sharing this sample with us. So what a friggin' baller. Total wine price. I don't know about total wine, but the retail, I believe, was about $250 a bottle retail. But it's definitely higher at secondary, as this was a special annual release that was only done once. So this is batch number 2. Let's get to drinking. What do you say?
I think so.
Yeah, huge shout out to Brandon Hunt. What a friggin' baller.
Yeah. Do you ever talk to him anymore?
Not. I could. I kind of want to like visit Phoenix again and just be like, dude, let's hang out again. And he would be so down. That's who he is. He's just he's an awesome dude who's always down to hang. And hardworking dude too. So shout out to Bourbon Charity.
So the reason my baller dings were so bad is because I don't have a Glencairn in here. I don't know where my Glencairns are. So right now I'm using a Costco tiramisu jar.
Nice. That almost looks like one of the Norland glasses that are double walled.
No, it's not double walled. It's just Kirkland. Tame nose. It's
yeah, it's a bourbony nose. It's a little vapory to me though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, you're drinking out of a Glencairn. You need this tiramisu glass.
That's true.
But it's tame. It's very light. It definitely is bourbon, but it's not. I mean, nothing unpleasant.
Like port nose or anything like that.
Yeah, no, it's
just like bourbony.
It is for sure.
Potentially some dried berries, not dried berries, like dark berries, but otherwise I just getting
Hoi.
bourbony notes.
Ooh.
Oi, oi, oi.
Went for my first sip. It's coming out hot. It definitely. I'm hit with the proof. It's first like. Ooh,
It's hot for 111.
Yeah, it is. It really does feel hot. It's not bad, but it's one of those ones where it's like there's so much heat. I don't know what I'm drinking after the heat.
Uh-huh.
It's it goes. I mean, honestly, there's not much I can say except for like it's hot. It's and then it's faint bourbony notes, like traditional bourbon notes towards the end, where it's like apple-y, vanilla-y, but nothing really stands out.
I'm kind of with you. This is not hitting me with random things. It's kind of just bourbon.
It's a hot bourbon.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's a hot bourbon, but does that make it better? I don't know.
If that's what you like, I guess.
So.
But...
Yeah. If you like the burn without the like flavor to back it up, yeah. Not that like it's not bad. It's really not bad. It's just not like taking any direction.
And I think that's one thing you want from something like this, where you want it to be a this bomb or that bomb. It's just it's right with just neat. It's a heat bomb. Like you get heat.
Yeah.
Which if I want to get heat, I can go. Gosh, there's so many other cheaper bourbons, easy to find bourbons where you can go like, oh, that's hot.
You know what I realized? Jack Daniel's barrel proof single barrel is hot.
Is it?
It's hot, man. I grabbed some the other day and I'm like, dude, this is like almost too hot. Even though it was like 120 or 125 proof.
Yeah.
It was hot.
But honestly, okay. So
not bad though. But
when I say there's other bourbons you can find that are cheaper and hotter, I don't know that though. Like the only thing I can think of, like this is
not cheaper. Maybe rare breed.
You can get cheaper.
Like
rare breed's kind of
250.
Yeah. But like the only thing I can think of where it's like with rare breed's hot, but it's not indistinguishable. Where you're like, I mean, you drink rare breed, you're like, I get this. You can pull stuff out. The only thing I think of is was the oh gosh, BTAC.
The Sazerac, the Thomas H. Handy.
Thomas H. Handy. 2020.
Yeah, 2020. Yeah. Or it was like too hot to make it better.
Really pull anything out. Yeah. And that's the thing. So like, I don't know. I mean, if that's your deal, this is it. But like, and I think that this would be slightly easier to find, cheaper to find than a BTAC at that age.
It's gonna be almost as hard.
Okay.
Maybe cheaper.
Yes.
Maybe cheaper,
but not
like,
easier.
There's only 5,400 bottles of this in the whole world. But I feel like BTAC might be a little higher in general, unless it's like Saz 18 or Eagle Rare 17 or something like that. But
a little bit of
I added some water. It's the thing that's really throwing me off though is that it's not like 120 plus proof. It's like 111, which is
is not,
but it is a little too strong.
Yeah, no, just the fact that you can't pull
on the burn. But I just added some water, gave it the old spin J,
and we'll making it dizzy. The old willow.
It's a good nose. I got notes of like. Yeah,
I get more of like a green apple with some ice.
What do you
call some water?
Berries a little bit, and more berries than I was getting on the nose before. So I dig that. So we'll see how it goes with the palate. But
I like it better, definitely for sure. Now I cannot find on my desk I am struggling today. I can't find my Glencairns. I can't find my Kentucky limestone water.
Interesting.
It is so I had to use a little bit of the water
very
from
different.
My cubes.
Still hot in a way.
No, I think this has. It's definitely sweeter with the. So okay, my water came from my ice, and it's a little cooler, which made it colder. But I get a little bit more notes from it. I can see kind of like the um, like mixed berry kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go for another sip.
Yeah. I think it was a little better with ice. I mean, with water.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna bring it to the ice pour. Here we go.
Okay, so here I like with water, like that. Like neat was so just alcohol vapor forward.
Yeah.
You couldn't really get much out of it. This one, it was a little bit more berries, a little bit more of corn nut kind of a taste.
Yeah.
Corn nuts. And
Corn nuts.
and
Got him.
then the heat comes in, which I like, and then it kind of mellows back into like that corn, toasted corn kind of a note. So
Yeah.
I think water is definitely at this point better than ice, but
yeah.
who am I to tell?
Great nose. I mean, better nose with some ice
Definitely
in
better.
it.
It's oh, I don't know about ice.
Yeah, I agree. It's better with water too, with the nose, but I'm gonna go for. I think it muted the on the nose. It muted the over proof. Overholt. Oh, fire in the hole.
Yeah,
but it's good. It's muted, but it's not over vapory.
So this was like a 10-year, right?
10-year minimum. Yep.
And I don't get a lot of oakiness from it. I don't know if it's just because it's so vapory alcohol forward, but there's really not a lot of oakiness to it at all for a 10-year. Like I would think it's like more along the lines of like a 6 or 7. I don't know.
On
It
the
hasn't really turned
palate.
that corner.
Yeah. There's this interesting note. It's like rubbery a little bit on the palate. There's like a note where it's like I can't even put my finger on it, but it's like slightly rubbery.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad thing. It's not really terrible.
No, it's like when you enjoy biting a tire.
Yeah, if you're into that kind of thing. I like the rest of the notes. It's not overproofed in terms of the ice pour, but it's still not going in any direction. It's just your average bourbon to me. Like, and for a $250 pour, I would never buy this.
Yeah, I agree.
For $250 retail.
You want something to stand out. You want it to be something special, like, and it's just kind of middle of the road, which is okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
if you're into that.
Yeah, I mean, if you
I wouldn't recommend finding one on the secondary and paying like $500 for it.
Absolutely not.
But then again, there's nothing solidly bad about this.
No, it's exactly.
It's just
except
not
for the price.
Special. Yeah.
Interesting though, like when you say there's like a weird rubbery note, it really is like when you pull a new bike inner tube out of the package and you're placing it, like that's what that note is. It's like very rubbery, which is weird. I've never had that. So if that's your thing, this is your bottle.
Yeah, if you're big into rubber, I highly recommend this one. Yeah,
that's weird. No, man.
I think I'm ready for a rating on this one.
All right, you go for it.
I'm bring back my old secondary rating.
Oh my gosh, it's been a while.
Which I haven't done in a while. This is a meh. Which, you know, it's nothing too special. I think oh man. This is like a 7.5 to me. Like it's okay. But for the price, it's like less. But we don't really go by the price on our ratings. It's just good. It's not bad. It's not good. I mean, it's not great. It's just good.
It's okay.
It's just,
it's okay.
It's yeah.
All right. I'm going 7.2. It's okay. If you go by price, this is a 2.2, something like that. Like it's not worth it for the price, for sure. Am I glad I had it? Absolutely. I'm glad I had this because I like to try things. Did I pay for it? Nope. And that's why I'm glad I had it. So yeah, I'm gonna go 7 point. Did I say 7.4? No, I said 7.2. 7.2. Yeah, it's just there's nothing that stands out. Is it bad? Nope. It's okay. It's better than bad. It's good.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a log.
That's deep.
Yeah. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
It sounds like a
what I'm talking about.
Reference to what is that band?
Nope. Cartoon. Okay. Nickelodeon. Ren and Stimpy. Everybody wants a log. We've talked about this. You don't remember?
No, I was thinking of what's that freaking band?
You're gonna want a log. It's Log.
Van Halen. Glammo. You ever seen Better Off Dead with John Cusack? There's that like middle like intermission where the donut or something sings "Everybody Wants Some, I Want Some Too," which I think was played by Van Halen.
I believe so.
Yeah, that's what I thought you might be referring to.
No, it was Ren and Stimpy.
That's good.
Cole, you idiot! All right, we're good there. Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's move on to our favorite segment of the show, but it's not really our favorite. We like to call Whiskey World News. And
we're back. Cole's lasagna is out of the oven.
Oh, it's
out. My children are not fed yet. I better hurry up. And here we go. This part of the show where we talk about it. We get an article. We talk about it. Didn't write. Going to read it. Here it goes. This comes from the Washington Post. In Scotland, making whiskey with energy from wind, wood, chips, and tides by William Booth. Lochlann, Scotland. I probably said it wrong. It was probably Lochlann, Scotland. A tippler might not know it from the pretty advertisements which hide the mountain streams and woolly highlands, but making Scotch whiskey can be a dirty business. An energy-intensive, carbon-spewing, peat burning. Oh, that might be my favorite way to insult somebody. You know what? You're an energy-intensive, carbon-spewing, peat burning industry.
Lint liquor.
Mostly owned by multinational conglomerates. You're a conglomerate.
Yeah.
That ship their $50 plus bottles to swells around the world. On the picture-perfect Western Isles of Scotland, famous for their whiskeys, Islay, Skye, Jura, Arran.
Yeah, Arran.
Gosh, I need to get braces. Look at that. Okay. The whitewashed distillers are often the largest sources of greenhouse gas emissions in their bucolic regions, ahead of the diesel ferries and pastures of belching sheep.
Wow.
Floki.
Wapo, baby.
But something head-turning is happening. The owners of 140 distilleries in Scotland have pledged voluntarily to transform the industry and make their operations net zero in carbon emissions by 2040, a decade earlier than Britain as a whole and 5 years earlier than Scotland has promised. The Scotch Whisky Association wants consumers to imagine a future when the old-time distilleries turn away from fossil fuels and towards energy generated by wind and wood chips, by ocean tides, and 21st century green hydrogen. Green hydrogen?
I'm into green hydrogen.
Isn't hydrogen a gas?
Yeah, but it's green.
Colorless? Semi-odorless?
Yeah.
Soon they hope those road-hogging buses and tunnel tourists on narrow roads around locks on whiskey-tasting tours will run on batteries topped up to the 30,000th new charging station Scotland has promised by 2030. Whether the whiskey business will be able to pull this off and do it quickly is uncertain. Many polluting industries, shipping, steel, aviation, aren't technologies available on a commercial scale. It can be difficult to separate serious commitment from campaign slogans. But it helps that the international energy producers have descended on Scotland to make eye-popping billion-dollar investments, which envision the coastal waters covered by vast wind farms, pumping electricity to shore, some of the electricity diverting, some making it go. You know what, Cole?
Yeah.
I feel like I read enough.
You
You
read
got
enough.
the gist?
No, yeah. I think it's funny. Like we talk about the process of making Scotch. Usually it involves the malting process, which usually
Ooh.
emits either through coal or peat a lot of greenhouse gases like carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, whatever. I don't even know if they're greenhouse gases. But the more there are of greenhouse gases, probably not the better. And I think I honestly trust places like Ardbeg or Laphroaig or Balvenie to do a good job in reducing their carbon footprint. And do I think that's going to save the world? Maybe. But do I think that's going to be better for the world? Probably. And that's my thoughts on this article.
Well, let me tell you something.
Tell me.
I can't remember what I was going to say. I had a
It was
super good quip.
Deep, man.
No, I will say this. You know what? I don't know.
That's okay. Greenhouse gases, baby.
Oh, man. You know what, folks? The only gases that you should come from
your booty. Bush's
baked beans. That's the only safe greenhouse gas you can have. No, I think it's good.
Methanol,
like I think it's one of the things where like, well, that's the problem with the sheeps and the cows.
Yeah. Dude,
but you know what? That's natural.
Gas.
So if there's ways that we can cut down, sure, go ahead, cut down things and
bring up the beans.
Let your toots get the boots. Here we go.
You know what they say, Robby? Beans, the magical fruit.
The more you eat,
the more you eat. Bush's baked beans, everyone.
Toot. The more you toot,
the better you feel.
So let's eat Bush's baked beans
in every meal.
All right.
Perfect Bush's baked beans moment.
Slow week on Whiskey World News.
Okay.
That's why it's like not necessarily our favorite, because sometimes it stinks and we feel like we have to do it.
Did we prep what whiskey would you choose this week?
We haven't yet.
Oh, it's all good. Well, why don't you provide the last week's results, and then I will think of what we should do.
I think we should just say what whiskey goes best with Bush's baked beans.
That's true.
But you think about it. In the meantime, you think about it.
Here we go. I thought about it.
You go.
Yeah.
So anyway, last week we talked about what whiskeys are you drinking with cigars. Cole went with A. Bowman cask strength.
A. Smith Bowman.
A. Smith Bowman cask
strength batch one.
Batch one. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at it on my phone,
and you won.
I had to abbreviate it.
No, it's all good.
And then I went with Balvenie 12, and I won.
Yeah, you won like at least 2-1.
62% to 30%. So I think part of it is like what you put. Like anytime someone puts up something that is hard to find, the other person usually wins. But you know what?
Yeah, because most people haven't had batch one. Yeah.
Yeah. And Balvenie 12 is just delicious, good standard. So there you delicious.
Go. Good Dufftown, baby.
We had some write-ins. Dramhound. I rarely smoke cigars. Do whatever's in my hand at the time. That sounds good to me. Yeah, whatever's in your hand, go for it.
Double wood. Although he's much more of an American guy. So let's assume it's like Eagle Rare or something like that.
It's probably a bourbon. It's bourbony. Yeah. But
we love Dramhound. What a friggin' baller. Give me a moment.
Bing, ding, dong. Ring-a-ding-ding-ding.
Dramhound, we love you.
We do.
And Willow. We love her.
Willow's the best.
She is.
Her pictures are impeccable.
Dude, I just melt when I see Willow pictures and videos.
Oh, yeah. No, like, okay, listeners, we're girl dads. We're dads.
We're girl dads.
We just
shout out to all the girl dads.
We just love seeing stuff from your kids. If your kids, like, you force them, like, draw a picture for Chill Filtered. Not that Jamhead does. But that's how I would have to do my girls. Be like, draw a picture for Cole. Cole needs a picture.
Cole needs a picture right now.
I'll forget the arrogant, ornery, horrible tone of a parent to tell your children to draw a picture for a whiskey podcast. Well, listen, we'd love to see it. Fish and Sips. Sean? No.
Sean Ciaro. Yeah.
Is that Sean?
Yep. Sean's got a few handles.
Okay, that makes it tricky. The Dalmore cigar malt. Never had it.
Good point.
Sounds fitting.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Clarkson 21. Nika coffee malt. I love Nika, and I can see
Can't
how
go
that's
wrong.
like I would drink any Nika thing and be happy with a cigar.
Yeah.
Maritime Marketer Ben Klepsig, Russell Reserve 13. Yeah.
Good choice.
Brian
Good
Rapp,
choice.
Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend. I'm there with you.
Couldn't hurt.
Road Task and Asking Cigar, Canadian Turtle Friend. I want something lighter than the cigar. I feel that. Lighter than the cigar, I agree with. Glengoyne?
Glengoyne!
But 15 if he has it.
Okay.
BJ Rockefeller, 1981. Don't smoke him, but got him. No.
Yeah.
Smoke him if you got him, but he didn't got him. So Joseph
don't got
Magnuson
him.
Cigar Blend as well. And Bryce Morita, I know zero about cigars, so I'm going with Ron Swanson's Lagavulin 16, which
Good choice.
might come up later. And Marco Nizzi, smoked meat and whiskey. So don't smoke cigars, smoke your meat.
Smoke whiskey.
But not yo meat.
Me and Marco, we've smoked together before. We have co-smoked before, and it was ribs, and it was good ribs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So cool. And the time I took to read that, do you have what whiskey would you choose?
No, I wanted to go with the one you had. What whiskey goes best? With Bush's baked beans.
Oh, cool.
Original.
Hold that up one more time. Go to the side. That's the pick for the thing.
Yeah, that'll be it. I got to think about this one because I want something sweet because Bush's has a nice sweetness to it. At least the original Bush's baked beans.
It does. It does for sure.
It's going to sound weird because I use it all the time, but I love a good sweet bourbon. And Buffalo Trace is my choice because it's sweet, it's appley, it'll go well with your beans.
All right. I'm just going to go with Old Forester Standard. Old Forester.
Okay. 86?
Yep. It is delish. It's sweet. Yep. It's neat. It's quite the treat.
And the best beans for your buck.
Exactly. It's got it's budget friendly, much like Bush's. You know what? Inflation's hit all of us lately. Invest in gold bonds. But if you can't invest in gold bonds, what do you do?
Sorry, I dropped a glass, but it's fine.
Invest in Bush's baked beans. There we go.
You can't hurt.
All right, man. So, do you have any idea what you want to drink next week? Because I
I do. I maybe you have an idea too.
Okay,
but I really want to drink the Tin Cup 14er.
Oh, okay.
Batch 1.
Yes, I pulled that one out. So that was I pulled that out as one I wanted to drink. I had a couple scotches, but since it's not scotch, can we do? And I've been wanting to drink this. The Jim Beam Signature Harvest Bourbon.
Yes, we have the
6-row barley.
6-row barley. We have the brown rice, and we have the Triticale.
Well, you pick one of those.
6-row barley it is.
Perfect.
So we'll put it up next week. We'll so if you could vote on our Instagram, vote on our story, do that, and we would appreciate it. And we'll find out what we're drinking next week.
It was very much like, listen, Grandma, you're gonna go to Instagram. You're gonna go to our story. Yeah. You're gonna vote on a whiskey,
especially around Tuesday, Wednesday,
maybe Thursday sometimes. Who knows?
Thursday. Yeah. But either way, it's gonna be dope.
Grandma, dope is not just for drugs.
Yeah.
It means good. Okay. Yeah. All right.
I hope Grandma knows that it is dope means good.
And Cole, I hope one of us beat Will.
Seriously. I really hope so too. But most of all, listeners, I hope that our love of whiskey lifted your spirits. Yeah.
All right, we'll see. Well, at any rate, I don't care at this point. I'm just gonna get on there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have fun. You can be the straight man. I'll be the drunk man, and we're just gonna do this.